Alongside head coach of the UT Martin football team, Jason Simpson, as the Skyhawks ready for their home opener against Missouri State. But, Coach, we're going to first take a look at last week. Went up against number 1 Georgia, 48-7. The Dogs win that game, but the game was 17-0 at halftime. And anyone who watched this game from start to finish knows that Georgia got nothing easy from you all, and you all competed to the full capacity.
No, I agree with that, especially defensively. No, I'm very. We can go back and watch the tape. Well, first of all, how it felt in the game. I felt like, especially the first quarter and second quarter. Every yard was earned by them. Thought we played extremely hard. I was telling somebody, on the bus on the way home. You're trying to get some rest and get ready for this week, and the highlights, of the game, obviously of Georgia, scoring or something. I guess I saw them 10 times, right? Because nobody got up and changed the channel, so we're all laying there trying to sleep. And every time they would say Georgia, I'd open up my eyes and look and see. But still, what I was encouraged about was, I was telling the coaches, hey, you recruit well, so you've got guys that can run and compete, even with the top levels in college football. And I was seeing our guys still, white helmets come flashing across the screen and stuff. And so I am encouraged about that. I thought there was a lot of physicality that was shown in that game. And even though offensively, the game was called very strategically to try not to put us in bad situations. I mean, what you couldn't have, and unfortunately we had a few with some penalties. We had 10 penalties, but you couldn't just really take a lot of calculated risk in that game. The risk was going to be the sacks, okay, because that's where the mismatches really come into play, is their pass rush, okay, and so it's hard to flip the field, and so without those big plays, even though 5-yard gains were few and far between, they were still those were well executed plays. And so when you go back and watch the tape, from the game Saturday, you see an offensive line that I thought competed well. I mean, it really did, guys. You'll see there was hats on hats. There was some movements. I thought the backs ran hard. There were some things that we did in that game that gave us a chance, and but then there's some things that we control, no matter who we were playing, that one, let the game get out of hand. Two, prevented us from moving the football a little better, and then getting a few more stops on defense.
Coach, I'm super encouraged and already like this team just based on that, because you're obviously an underdog going into that game, and we've been in this situation before. You don't ever let the game be bigger than you. And my goodness, if you didn't know who was wearing what uniform, I don't know at times if you knew who the favorite team was. And so your mentality going into it was to win the game.
No, and that game's kind of, it's different than the Knoxville game from last year. What I mean by that is, we did fairly well in the run game last year, but in their type of passing offense with all the grass, they really can separate from you their receivers to our DBs. Well, this game was set for us. I mean, they're a run play action team, Georgia is, and we did fairly well early the first 2 quarters in that run game. Really the whole game, to be quite honest with you. I think we end up giving up 150, whatever to them rushing.
It wasn't as much as they're used to.
Yeah, now 400 yards passing, is where but when you're committed to stopping that run, there are some things that put you at a disadvantage. But no, I agree. You could feel a good vibe on that sideline. You could feel the physicality. You could feel maybe some of Georgia's frustration. I think they had 4 3-and-outs. Okay, I'm encouraged with that. I'm encouraged that twice they had 10-plus play drives, but we held them to field goals. So that's first of all, what did we do to not be able to get off the field in 10 plays? All right, those are things you're trying to correct. But, hey, the character, the toughness, the competitive spirit to be able to hold them to field goals, I like that. Okay. They were 5 for 5 in the red zone, okay? But, there's still some silver linings, some things that we can build off of, with those things.
And on special teams, Aiden LaRosse, he had a great day. 8 punts, an average of 50 yards. Longest of the night went 66. What was it like to be able to have a guy out there to flip the field?
No, Aiden helped us. Good. He really flipped the field for us. That was something that was crucial throughout that game. That kept us in the game. Him flipping the field, and our snapper, Kick, coverage unit, protection unit. I thought they did a good job. Unfortunately, he had two touchbacks on the two kickoffs. So 2 out of the 3 he did quite well. Of course, he made a PAT. I think the snap was a little low on the field goal. If he makes that, I would tell you that's about as good as we could ask of him.
What's his backstory?
It's got, thank goodness he's here, first of all. But, he went to Charlotte. I think he walked on at Charlotte. He's from South Africa. I think he told me the story maybe 9th grade, maybe a year earlier or so. They moved here to the United States. His family did, and I think obviously was a soccer guy and converted that at UNC Charlotte, and looking for an opportunity for a scholarship and to play, and we certainly had that. And we wanted to be able to bring another punter in, to help him take some of the burden off of him, and didn't actually work out. So he's doing all 3 again for us.
And in that hostile environment, Kincaid didn't. His collegiate debut as a starter, he operated well. What did you see from him?
No, I would tell you this. I agree with that, okay? My confidence grew in Kincaid, okay? I mean, he's a great kid, smart kid, tough, okay? But, it's our first game together. I thought he handled it really well. There's a couple things he's going to see on tape today and be like, oh, okay, and that will register, that hopefully we will reap those dividends, this week. But, that's the first – even though you're a graduate, even though you're a fifth-year guy, okay, when he was in an SEC school and hard to get a lot of snaps, it's still different. Hadn't started a game since high school. Okay, so in 4 years, this is first game going on year 5 that he started a game, and it feels different out there than it does practice and stuff. And so, that was some things I was asking him. During the game, we'd say, okay, this happens, this happens. Get some feedback, and but I made sure to ask him, are you having fun? What does it feel like to, all eyes are on you. The whole team, goes through that quarterback for us, and so I think he had a good time with it. And I think you'll see better in the weeks to come.
And this game this week against Missouri State in the home opener is really going to slow down after it was so fast facing this SEC opponent. And now you're going to be able to, not to discredit anything Missouri State does, but compared to Georgia, this game is going to slow down a whole lot this week.
Well, I certainly agree with that statement, but I will also say this: we'll have to get back to being more balanced. Now,
right.
Even though we had 31 attempts, now there was only, like I said, 2 or 3, true 6-man protections dropped back and throw the football, and only 1 or 2 play actions, that we pushed it down the field, trying to just get first downs was the game plan here. So the game plan will be different this week. Game plan will be more normal of what we do, and so those will be some firsts for him. Okay, and obviously, I hope he plays extremely at a high level, but I know there's still a learning curve. There's a learning curve with the receivers. Things that we know when Tank and Zoe are out there, there's some things that they've been with us for a long time. Okay, and then when the other unit that went in, though, be honest with you, actually had more production. Okay, Asa, Marlon Cook, Sean Hardy, Nebraska transfer. They're big bodies. They're strong. We started getting the ball on the perimeter. They block well on the perimeter. And we were able to put some first downs together. So, we're going to have some good competition going. We've got to kind of get that unit a little bit more solidified. They need to help us this week.
Jason Simpson is the Skyhawks ready for their home opener this Saturday under the lights against a familiar opponent in Missouri State. This is going to be the 3rd time the Skyhawks have played the Bears in the last 3 years. 2021, you got them in the first round of the playoffs, Coach. And then last year, very competitive game in Springfield that the Bears were able to win. And this is going to be the first time that they've traveled down to Martin since 2007. They've got a new head coach, Ryan Beard, former defensive coordinator as Bobby Petrino went to Texas A&M. What are the Bears bringing into Martin, Tennessee this Saturday?
Well, first and foremost, the quality football team, part of the Missouri Valley. So this is a big opportunity for us. This is kind of a regional, somewhat national FCS game that people will pay attention to. OVC compared to Missouri Valley. When you watch them on tape, statistically they're 0-1 just like us, but both playing Power Fives. But that game against Kansas is, I don't know, was it 17-10, 24-10 or something in the fourth quarter? And then game got away from them like it did with us. So, they've got good players. They've got a new coach staff. I like Coach Beard. He was the defense coordinator the last 2 years, and good young bright coach. And I haven't really dug in their personnel as deep yet. Just right now, looking at the X's and O's as we get ready to go to Monday night practice. But glad we're at home. Last 2 times we had to make those road trips. So, even though we're at home, that's great. But like I was telling you, there's still 11 guys on offense that this will be their first game at home. 11 guys that you'll see play a lot. We played 30 players on defense. Okay, we only traveled 33. So, that's encouraging. Okay, I think offensively we played probably 22. Okay, so that's probably more players than we played in the years past. So it's kind of good news, bad news. Good news is that tells you that we've got some depth. Okay, all right. But the bad news is we don't have polished depth yet. There's no Colton Dowell that you're putting out there that's playing the whole game. There's no Peyton Logan. Guys that can play on first down and third down, depending on blitz situations and packages and stuff. So that's what we're striving to get to. Some more continuity, some more, and we got four non-conference games, guys, before we move, before we get to that conference. Mm-hmm. You want to win them on the way. You want to play well. But that's what my ultimate goal is. At these 4 games, be ready to go for that conference slate.
And I want to encourage our community and our fans, people watching, people listening. It's a great experience. You've got some of the top athletes in the country. Graham Stadium's a wonderful place to be, and it's a good place to take your family and have a nice Saturday.
Well, you and I are certainly biased, but I believe that.
I do too. Absolutely,
it's good, cheap entertainment. A couple things. One, guys, NFL scouts come through here, weekly.
Absolutely.
To check on these players. So you get an opportunity to see guys. Hopefully you followed us and came and watched us when Rodney Williams is back with the Steelers. Jaden Moore still on the injured reserve, and of course Colton Dowell, and then the 2 kids in Canadian League. So you're going to see some good players, hopefully some players that go on and play. And, the next thing is, if you're a sports fan, it's quality football. Watch the game that you want to – the other Power 5 games you want to keep up with on your phone these days, right? You don't have to just be in front of the television. And the next thing is this, okay, here in West Tennessee, right? I mean, we need you. We don't have 100,000 people, just in this town. This university does something for your business, okay? We appreciate you, okay? But being at those games and bringing your family and your friends to those games, okay, it all works, hand to hand, because I'm going to have recruits coming in.
Yeah. And
their families are going to come in. And so when they see a great game day atmosphere, right, maybe we get that young man, he decides to come to UT Martin, or maybe his sister, sees a great game day atmosphere, or a little brother and decides to come here and major in engineering and looks in our other quality programs that we have. So to me, it all works together, and we want to be first class in everything and be great, okay? It starts with different functions that we have, and so hopefully we'll put a good product on the field for you, something to be proud of, and it'll be a great day.
Before you out there, and parking is easier than the bigger schools,
yeah.
And you're going to be closer to the field, and our players and coaching staff are accessible.
Well, you know what? You know what? If you need me to pick you up on the way to the game, I'll be glad to do that too. Now, hey, I don't think Kirby Smart was great, but I doubt he would drop by your house and pick
Coach
you up.
Simpson will Uber anyone who wants to come to the game. Coach Simpson will be your lift to the game.
I love it.
Just give him a phone call. Coach, again, atmosphere always I feel like has been great here for week 1. And I want to go back to what you said about your players, some of them on offense. This is going to be their first time playing at Hardy Graham Stadium. For you, just getting them, what's your message to them as they get set for this first home game and they're adjusting to all these firsts?
That's I don't know if I've got to that point yet, but it is something different. The walkthrough schedule, the pregame meal stuff, that's things I've been doing for 18 years. Okay, those are things that Dresser Wynn did with me for 6 years. Okay, you didn't have to have those conversations, but you do. You got to make those, you address them early in the week. Okay, and those become minimal. All right, but we play well here at home. I think we lost like 1 game in the last.
That's 2 seasons, only 1 game at home.
Something like that. Go back to the 20 season. I think that was the last time I think we maybe lost 1 game since the 20 season, something like that. But our winning percentage here at home is very good. I'm proud of it. We take a lot of pride in. It goes with, hey, Walmart's the Martin Mall, right? Okay.
I remember you telling me that.
Right. I've said it 100 times. Okay. We make, the kids may complain that they can't get the type of shoes that they want there. All right. but they don't let anybody else make fun of it,
Yeah.
okay, or rag them about that, all right? And so that creates, you don't want to come in here at Hardy Graham Stadium and play us type mentality. Now you got to go do it. You got to play hard. You got to play physical. And we got to eliminate mistakes that we made last week.
And this week in practice, you obviously have told us you haven't gotten into really the details of what Missouri State brings. But for you all, what's the focus as you head into this home opener?
This will be different, okay? Last week it's always about us, okay? We'll start with that, okay? And there were some things that, that we didn't take care of us last week, okay, especially on offense. Well, now, and last week wasn't a huge game plan deal, meaning this is first game of the year. Has Georgia changed a lot of things, whatever? So, I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of as people say, like chasing ghosts. Well, what if they do this? Well, you got to check to this play. What if they do this, okay? Especially in a loud, hostile environment. Okay, well, now you're at home. So now there will be some more game planning because we both played a game, so you both got some tendencies and stuff. And that's a challenge for us, all right? Normally it's not, but it is with a new quarterback and for him a new system, okay, as we adjust to him and he adjusts, to our terminologies. So I think that is something different, for us because it's a more like a true game plan week, okay, as you tried to. I mean, let's face it, we were not, against Georgia, we were not saying, okay, who's the weak link?
Right.
No, we're trying to survive and just put hats on hats and be very basic and we did that at times. Okay?
And stay healthy too.
Yeah, that never comes into play. But no, as far as keeping your quarterback upright, no, 100%. How fast can we get the ball out and get him to the next play and get him to this week. So this will be a true game plan week. So that'll be a little bit different. They'll be a little bit more mentally, on the quarterback and the players. We've got a lot of guys on defense dinged up. If you saw that injury report, there's about 9 to 10 guys on that list. Okay, now that doesn't mean they're out. So the challenge will be for this group, and some of them are new guys. Hastings, is the first one that comes to mind. Okay, plays really hard, plays really physical. Okay, so now we've got to go to practice this week. Guys may be limited in what they can participate in, but yet get a game plan in. Get healthy guys ready to play, but yet guys that you hope that are back by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, get them ready to play as well. But yet, like I was telling the staff, but yet you've got to, but you can't just. Everybody's going to be sore. You're going to be sore the rest of the season. You're going to have nicks and bruises and whatever. But if Bart says he can, go as as he feels like it, then you need that guy to go. All right, because nobody's going to be 100% healthy, even during practice.
If I quit this season, I still be the greatest.